Hi everyone, welcome back to another scrapbook layout and thanks for joining me again today. I am using this Simple Stories Vintage Blessings and I'm actually following a scrapbook generation kit. So I'm going to actually be doing two videos. It was one of those kits that you used to be able to get from them. I don't think this was a free one. I think this might have either came from one of their kit clubs, but it was one of their sales they had on sale, and I saw somebody else do this kit and I thought it was really adorable. But it's one of the ones that you could choose Allison Davis's sketch or another sketch, and I liked both of the sketches really well, and so I didn't purchase this kit just because I wanted to use both sketches, but I just happened to have I had already purchased this collection as it was, so I am going to end up doing both of the layouts, and I really like how both of them turn out. I love these colors. They're a little bit different than what I thought. Again, I think I just need to pay a little more attention to what all is in a kit and what the sayings. You know, I bought, what was the collection that I used the other day where it wasn't what I expected? Oh, the camping one. Here I thought that I could use it for my son's camp when in reality it was not really themed for that, which I knew it wasn't themed for just a camp that a kid goes to, but it wasn't as themed as I had expected it to be. And so I think I just maybe need to pay a little more attention. I have, like I've mentioned in a few other videos as well, I'm trying to be smarter about what I buy as well. So, and I'm going to have a few videos coming up talking more about that. So you can watch for that coming. Might be a little while since the holiday is right around the corner. I don't actually know when this video will go live, but this is the Thursday a week before Thanksgiving. So I don't know when it'll go live. How about that? I'm basically following the directions from the kit. I think I pretty much follow it fairly closely, except for a couple things, which I will talk about in a moment. So one of the 4x4 cards had this kind of wonky shaped heart, and in their directions, it said to cut that out and then use that as a template for cutting out a bunch of other hearts. I ended up cutting the same number of hearts that they did, but I must have put mine down a little bit differently because, I mean, I like how mine turned out just fine. It just turned out differently than theirs. So, but like I said, no big deal because I like how I did mine. And the hearts is one of the parts that I really liked about this layout. So I'm going to tell you, I love my Tim Holtz trimmer. I've had a few people ask how I like that trimmer, this trimmer here that I'm showing. I love it. It is one of the best trimmers I've ever had. Fiskars is my favorite because of their customer service. I will never get rid of my Fiskars. I have a couple of those ones left. But this trimmer just really has the nicest, sharpest cut, and it's super easy to use, and it gets really, really straight cuts. I've never had a trimmer even my Fiskars, they're fairly close. Sometimes I would get them a little crooked using the Fiskars trimmer. I had another trimmer that was, I will just say, a certain green trimmer that had a light, and I have nothing good to say about that trimmer. So hope I'm not offending any of you, but worst customer service experience I've ever had in my life. But the one thing I've noticed with this trimmer, this Tim Holtz one, is when I'm cutting a 1/4 inch strip, for some reason I'm pretty good at getting those knots straight. So what I think it is that I just need to go a little bit slower and hold the paper down a little bit more. So once you start cutting, really, like I said, almost all my cuts are straight. It's normally just the 1/4 inch cuts that are not straight. So I've paid a little more attention, and I've noticed if I go a little more slow or a little more careful when I'm cutting those, then it works out. So let's go to the page now. You saw me put down everything on the right hand page except the hearts, and now I'm working with the left hand page, and I'm short a photo. I don't know, I think I miscounted. I don't know if I counted the other pile wrong or this pile wrong. Not really, oh well, it's not that big of a deal. However, I am just shorted a little bit of a photo. So instead, where that red block is, they have a photo there, and I decided, oh no, wait. did I cut it smaller? I don't remember exactly what I did, but I ended up with a photo that was cut smaller than I think I was going to originally put it on the right-hand page next to the photo that's going to go on the right-hand page, but it didn't work out. So long story short, I'm going to take a photo that goes along with these photos that's smaller and trim it down and add it on that 4x4 block. I'm going to give it a frame and everything like that. So that's the only thing that I really do differently with this layout. And and I also do my clusters a little bit differently. So I use very minimal clusters, very small clusters, just a little bit here and there, which you will see coming up as well. So, but it's still, I think these hearts just draw so much of the attention to the page. And what I did was I laid all my hearts down, and I didn't want to go left to right or right to left with my hearts. I wanted, so like where the yellow one is, the second one in from the left, I made sure it was behind both of the other hearts that it was touching, so that it didn't go on top of the one on the left, and then the next one would go on top of that one, and the next one on top of that one. I hope that makes sense. I wanted some to look like they were in the very far back and some to look like they were in the middle. And I'm also using two different widths of foam tape so that there's just a little bit of interest there. I am going to trim off the hearts. They did have this one heart going off the edge of the other side. This piece is just going to be garbage after this. This one, I'm just going to trim this down and then add it to the right-hand page. So I hope all of that made sense as far as the hearts going behind each other. You can see, so the yellow heart that's on the left and the red heart that's on the right both look like they are in the very back of all those hearts. This side, I wanted to do the same thing, and I'm going to mostly do the same thing. There is a couple spots where it looks a little different because I wanted to mount the first heart that I cut out that was from the 4x4 card. So these are all kind of the same pattern cards or hearts that I cut out, and it was super simple to cut these hearts out, by the way. So I started to go ahead and put these down thinking I would just tuck the other hearts in and so on and so forth, but then I realized that the heart that I wanted, this one here, I wanted that one to go on the very top. So I'd already put down the red heart with the foam tape, and then I realized, oh, okay, I want this one to really stand out, but I didn't want to go too far to the right with it. So, and I didn't want the next striped heart to be next to the red heart again, because then it would look like it was a pattern. So what I did was I put the extra thick foam tape behind the heart that was originally cut out, that one there, that has all the different patterns, because again, I wanted that one to really stand out. And then I just glued the striped one behind it. And now I'm just fitting in the other two hearts, and I'm again making sure that they are look like they're either completely behind all the other hearts or more in front. So I hope all that makes sense. The other thing I had to keep in mind while I was gluing these down was that the hearts were kind of close to the striped on the very left-hand side, and I noticed I started to kind of go up towards the page a little bit, the top of the page. So I had to be a little more careful with that. But it looks good in the end. So any hearts would work. I don't know the width, how tall these are, maybe 3 inches, 3.5 inches. So you could do this layout with just about anything. Excuse me. So now I'm taking this photo, and they did not have theirs on a mat, but I'm just taking some of the scrap left over that was there, and because I wanted this photo to stand out a little more, and I'm going to glue it down. I can't remember if this is how they had their photo. They might have done this side a little bit different than me. I am going to tuck this Live, Laugh, Love in on this side, and because I have the collection, I also have chipboard and ephemera pieces and things like that, so I don't have to just stick with what was in the kit. So I kind of like that as well. It was nice to get their kits because they would put in some of the stuff from collections that I would have never bought, but just enough to have a little bit of that collection. And also some of their kits I had more of, so I could always add more to the layout if I wanted. And again, here's where I'm going to apologize, because I feel like my layout is very far to the left. Luckily, it's fully on screen. I wasn't sure at the time. I think I'm going to have to move my camera over a little bit, but like I've mentioned before, the mat is new size, so I've got to gotta work, so work with me here. I very much try to stay in the screen the whole time. It drives me nuts if I see a video and they're not in the screen. If they're not working in that area, it's not so big of a deal, but I keep wanting to mentally push their layouts into the screen. So I always really try to make sure that my layouts are completely in the screen. So luckily it is here, like I said. Here's where I'm going to pull out the chipboard, and I'm just going to see if there's anything I can play around with. What I was kind of hoping for was a flower that I could put over right here, that I'm putting over that flower that was just printed on the paper, because I wanted a little cluster there and I wanted some dimension. And then the photo that's on the left, that small one that's on the 4x4 red card, I added that little bird there just to see what it would look like. And it looked really cute, and I love birds, and that was part of the reason I bought this collection, was these birds were just so adorable. So I went ahead and it's there now. I believe at this point I've glued everything down. Maybe I haven't glued it. But my third cluster, which like I mentioned was going to be really small, is that little yellow heart that's on the bigger hearts on the top left, if you can see that. So I do have my cluster of 3. I have the cluster that's by the Live, Laugh, Love. I have the bird started, and then I have just that small yellow chipboard heart. And I kind of wanted just something small. I thought the heart looked really cute in that area. I played around with a few different colors, and then I think I turned it off to glue everything down, or I don't know what I had to stop for, but I just looked for a few extra things. I was kind of hoping for something to stick behind this little bird to kind of add something to him. And I had punched one of the circles. That was one of the things they had as part of their kit. I'm just not placing the circles where they placed them. Like the red circle that is behind the cluster by the Live, Laugh, Love, which I'm not going to add anything else for a title. These are just more of the family photos that we had taken in 2017, and I thought they went really well with this collection, especially the hearts and the sayings on there. So that's all I'm adding. So I am going to add this bird up with some foam tape. I believe I might have added some foam tape behind that photo as well. So I just popped him up just to keep him in line, the same width height as the photo. And that's pretty much, I think, going to be it. I'm just gluing down. Again, these are chipboard. I always add extra adhesive to chipboard because chipboard never seems to last, at least not for me. I wanted a little bit something extra. One of the things they did have on their kit was a couple journaling strips below the photo area and one word that they cut from one of the 4x4 cards above the photo, where I'm putting this blue word sticker here, but I didn't like the ones, what it said of the ones they used. I think it said, "You're my cup of tea," or something like that, and I didn't want to use that here. So since I had all the other stuff from the collection, the sticker sheet and that, I just went ahead and added that blue sticker above the photo here, which does sort of make a third cluster area, but I don't really, again, it's very minimal on this page. I'm not too worried about it. But what this does is the yellow heart will lead your eye to the cluster that's by the photo in the middle on the bottom. Then that blue word sticker kind of brings your eye back up, and then your eye goes back down. So you kind of go diagonally across the layout so you see everything. So here's a couple close-ups coming up. I am using gems from Pretty Pink Posh. They are gold gems. They came in a kit of like 4 different colored gems, and I didn't think I would like them, but they actually work really well on this page. So it's very simple, and it was very quick, very easy. I love this layout, and I hope you guys liked it as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. All right, bye. Have a good day.